Hi and welcome. What do you want to talk about
Okay.
today?
Yeah, what we thought we would share today, we've been listening to a book on tape. We don't read books much anymore, but we've been listening to a book called Stealing Fire. It's actually the second time we've listened to it because we really like it. And what the book is about is looking at how we can achieve peak human performance through altered states of consciousness. So Connie and I, you've been listening to our blog, we have something about this whole expansion of consciousness and our inner resource and connecting with the wisdom that we have. That's all about consciousness. And what this book looks at is how certain organizations are working to leverage these altered states to increase creativity and productivity and a sense of well-being in their employees and in their organization. So it looks at research around mindfulness and meditation and psychedelics and neuroscience. And it shows how these altered states really are improving, they're giving a boost to our human potential, to our ability to have those high performance teams. And it looks at it in a lot of different ways. Now, I've always known it through athletics. I've heard about and experienced in doing sports what they refer to as being in the zone. Mm-hmm. And it's so amazing. For any of you that have experienced that, it's kind of like, at least for me when I was playing basketball, I'd go into the zone and it's like I had eyes in the back of my head. I knew where everybody was. And if I know where everybody is, not just I knew where they were, it's almost like I knew where I had to go because I knew where they were going to go. I mean, it's just this phenomenal state. It's really cool. You can see if we could leverage that, boy, we could really improve our ability to perform. So sports is there. We've heard about Zen monks, really developing a higher state of consciousness, that kind of thing.
Connecting with who they really are again and again,
Yeah,
or resting in that.
yeah, that's that approach. And so the book looks at the research that's been done in organizations, and like looking at Google executives are looking for how they can create an environment where their employees can access this altered state more frequently because it's in that altered state that we think outside the box or outside the mind, you might say. And any business owner knows, we can grow a business by improving our product. But where business really soars is with new innovation. And in the tech world, computer IT stuff, it's new innovation that really gives you the market share and the lead in your industry. So they're looking for how can we help our employees kind of access this place where they think outside the box to solve problems, to improve the product, and also to find new product or new innovation. So it stories from Google, from Burning Man, from Navy SEALs, from psychedelic research, from monks, just everything is fascinating. So we love it. But why we want to share it with you today is regarding health and food and creating a healthy relationship with food. So, as I said earlier, we like the book because we see this parallel between higher states of consciousness and our ability to access this inner resource, which we've always been interested in. And what we do with our coaching, it's kind of the main point of our coaching, is to help our clients begin to look in this direction of this inner resource, this inner intelligence, what we often call the wisdom of the body. But this is the wisdom that's different from just acquired knowledge, like, say, a computer engineer or a software engineer would have from all this experience that he has and all that he's learned. he can put new things together. But where the real shift occurs is when he sees things that are kind of outside of his past experience. So with our clients, what we like to do is to point them toward how to access this deeper intelligence, that intelligence that's outside the box, that's outside our experience of past experience, our knowledge base of past experience. And what that does is that it removes all those old patterns, habits, and relationships that we've had that have created a poor relationship with food.
Yeah, all we have to do, it's so simple, is when we feel we're in a tense place or we start to notice that there's any kind of tension, rather than reaching for food, we just relax and get present. Get in this moment. And that occurs naturally when we relax, and especially when we relax the thinking mind. Then we're connected with our true nature, and we know from a place of deep knowing what is the next best. Is it to reach for food or something else?
Yeah, if we just reverse engineer that process of creating an unhealthy relationship with food, which, if you look at our culture today and all the obesity and chronic conditions and everything, I think if we ask those people if there was a relationship between the food they eat and the conditions that they're struggling with, they would say yes. But why don't they change? Because that reward or that payoff for eating the foods that create the conditions is greater than the desire to have greater health. And so if we can help people to not need to change their mood with food, they suddenly start having these choices to have food that nourishes them instead of just changes their mood. So that's what we found is the only way to really create a lasting change in our relationship with food is when we're able to deal with the kinds of stresses and difficulties that create that inner pressure that says, I need a little reward. Friday on the way home from work, what a week I spent. I'm going to give myself whatever that is as a reward. And what is that reward? Is it the food? Is the food the reward? Or is it that feeling? See, I believe the reward is that good feeling that we're looking for, and we've found it through food. But that, of course, is no solution to lasting change in terms of a healthy relationship with food and a healthy relationship actually with life.
And we have that good feeling when we get present and relax and let the mind settle. We move into our true nature, which is a beautiful feeling and very simple, and we experience it all the time. We just don't always recognize that we are experiencing it.
Now, I'll give you a little example from yesterday. This ability to shift back to that space of well-being. We do a call every Saturday with our graduate community. We do a little food demo, and what we were going to demo yesterday was these amazing whole food wraps that are made in a dehydrator. And so we had made them the night before, and I went up to check them in the morning, and they were all done. So I was going to bring them in, and Connie said, "Oh no, they're not done." And it was like, what? Because I'm going to demo this. I'm going to show them what's going on. So when I saw they were done, my mind put this whole picture together of how this is going to play out and everything. And so I've got this rolling in my mind. It's like the movie's on the screen, right? And then Connie says, "No, they're not done." And it's like the movie just got cut off. It's like, whoa, what do you mean it's not? And I felt this kind of wasn't anger, but annoyance. This annoyance come up because my movie just got taken off the screen. And what was so interesting is I found myself doing the old headbanger. It's just like, what do you mean they're not done? And it was so classic. And what was so beautiful to see is as I have become familiar with this ability to shift to this quieter place that accesses a more, a greater sense of intelligence in dealing with any situation in the moment. As I kind of did the head banging and became aware of the contraction that I was feeling inside, that was kind of like a little wake-up call. It was like a little Dharma bell that said, we're probably going in the wrong direction here in terms of what you're really looking for. And I've been through this cycle often enough that when I see that direction I'm going in, when I feel that tension or resistance, contraction going on, I know that it's something that I am creating inside. We often share with our clients how life works inside out, not outside in. It wasn't that what Connie said made me feel that way. It was something I was doing inside that made me feel that way. So when I saw that I was going down that road, I remembered, I don't have to feel like this. And there's somehow this ability to just let go of the attachment to whatever that thinking is that says, this shouldn't be happening right now. I should not be losing the movie on the screen. I liked that movie. And it was so beautiful to see how quickly we can open to this space that then just accesses what's available in the moment to keep moving forward, to get back online with the movie that's happening now instead of the movie that I wanted to see happen. And right away, I felt close with Connie again. There was no like, you're not going to tell me what to do. Those are kind of stuff. So anyway, that's a little example of what we have found really helps people to create a healthy relationship with food. Because although I wasn't thinking about what can I eat in order to feel better, I was able to kind of short circuit that whole process. Instead of like what used to happen in the past, I would run that around and around in my head for hours, if not days, and just kind of feel this annoyance with, somebody not agreeing with what I wanted to do or how I saw things. So, yeah, it's just so wonderful to see that we have this capacity to access what I think they're pointing to in this book. Is, they're calling it higher states of consciousness. We're calling it an inner resource. We're calling it this connection to the wisdom and intelligence that's running all of life and not getting caught in our attachment to our little ideas about how life needs to unfold for me to be happy.
So, is that complete?
I think we're good for now.
Okay, recipe. We're going to give you the recipe for these amazing wraps. It takes a dehydrator, an Excalibur dehydrator. So if you don't have one, well, you can look at these and see if you want to invest in one. But they are amazing.
Yeah, we use an Excalibur dehydrator, but there's other dehydrators. So whatever dehydrator.
Well, in my search and in Janet's search, we haven't found others.
Oh, okay. Well, I think there are other brands, but Excalibur is pretty really well, good. Yeah, considered the gold standard.
So enjoy.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you next week.